that like it maybe isn't that hard. It's just that you have to be constantly paying attention to what are some little things that I can do to demonstrate that I do give a rip as a leader here.
Welcome again to It Doesn't Take a Genius, conversation with introspective perspectives and pithy points of view. Here are your hosts, my friends, Max and Marty.
I think that's Mark and Mike.
Yeah, whatever.
Ramsey!
Marshall, happy Thanksgiving, I think, right? Will this episode be the Thanksgiving week?
I believe it will, yes. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you. Yeah, God bless the pilgrims.
That's right.
And the American indigenous people.
That's also right.
Yeah, got together, had a nice meal, and we've been picking out ever since.
Yes, we have. And I like it.
Yeah. Remember one time I was in Hong Kong for Thanksgiving. And, you know, believe it or not, Thanksgiving's not a big deal in Hong Kong. Yeah, they had no idea what was going on. And so we searched all over the city and, looking for turkey. We finally found a British pub that served turkey sandwiches. So, yeah, we ordered all the turkey sandwiches in the pub and, had our Thanksgiving meal.
Well, that's kind of nice. Thank you for the British for being there for that American holiday. That's really sweet of them that they were able to do that for us. That's great.
Yeah. Good people, the Brits.
I had a coworker years ago who sort of went spacey and wondered how they celebrated Thanksgiving in France. And they never let him live it down. And his gag gift for Christmas that year was the website FrenchPilgrim.com or something like that. And it was just littered with, like if he had a blog, this is the kind of, ridiculous stuff this guy would have said. It was so great. He was angry about Murder, She Wrote going off the air, things like that. It was just great. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, we have a friend of my daughter's is coming over for Thanksgiving from the UK. So
oh, right. You told me about this.
Yeah. So we're serving meals at the church on Thanksgiving. And he's so excited. He's never seen Thanksgiving. He's like serving meals. And he said something to the effect of, "Is there a pie trolley?" What? A pie trolley? Yes. Is there someone going around with a trolley handing out pies? It's like,
and is he thinking meat pies? Probably.
No, just pies.
Okay, all right.
He wanted to be the dessert guy. So,
yeah.
So we're like, you can be the pie trolley, dude. Now a new official position.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of food, I have a food story for us today. I have a food story. And you know what? I have a visual aid. Let me see if I can do this quickly. Here is a cute little kid.
That is an adorable kid with wonderful red hair.
She has a lot of red hair. It is, in fact, very tame right there. She has some serious braids that you can't see sort of pulling it down behind. And she's also missing, if you can tell here, her two front teeth. She is going to be all she wants for Christmas will be two front teeth. But I suspect some other things as well. And you know what? Since we're there's the redheaded brother who just got his hair cut. It's a lot of hair. It's a lot of hair. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
anyway, but back to this young child. She is grinning ear to ear. My youngest is grinning ear to ear because she is addicted to Skyline. She loves it so much. And I think there are a couple outposts in Florida because some, snowbirds retired from Cincinnati to Florida and wanted Skyline. But I think we have the southernmost outpost of the Skyline Chili empire now in Richmond, Kentucky. So it opened. She had been dying to go. And so we took her, and that is her face at Skyline Chili, the happiest place on earth, according to my daughter. So
apparently it's replaced Disney as the happiest place on earth.
I honestly kind of think she might even say that. Anyway, that's the cute visual aid and leads into a story. It's really stunning. The place was packed. It's opening week, but it was literally people waiting for tables, standing up. And the way Skyline does it is, the waitress or waiter comes to your table. So it's literally just every table is full, and the servers are just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, serving, the distinct, the ways. I don't know how else. I don't know if there's a proper way to say it, but the Cincinnati style of chili, which is spaghetti noodles, chili on top, typically with a sort of a cinnamon kick to it, kind of a sweeter chili with cheddar cheese. And then if you want to go from a 3-way to a 4-way or a 5-way, you might add onions and beans to that. And it is phenomenal. And it tastes great with a Pepsi. I will just say that. But anyway, we were experiencing, high Cincinnati culture, in my opinion, and enjoying watching our server just crush it. I mean, she was so good. I was watching her go from table to table. Her name is Callie, just in case Skyline corporate gets a hold of this podcast. Her name is Callie, and she was killing it. She was so confident, knew everything about the menu, was not flustered at all, very kind, and very quick, and they were busy and was quick. So I naturally, I don't know if you do this. Do you do this? I have to go ask, why are you engaged? That's basically what I do. Why are you as an employee engaged? So I did. And it was very interesting to hear her answer. It turns out she had opened 2 Skyline locations when they were brand new. She had worked at a total of 4. And she said, I love working here. So there's that love word,
Right.
When you hear the love word, you get curious, right?
Oh yeah. I love it here. I love this. All the words that we had a manufacturer one time that said people would never say that.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, they claim that with customers, and
that's just a word we wouldn't use about business.
Yeah. Employees don't use that word in business, and it's absolutely not true. People use it 100%. Yes.
100%. So, and I get that there's different kinds of love, but she said it, she said the word love. And so, I'm trying to ask her why. And she said, well, they really care here. Okay, now we've gone from love to care. This is great. And it was really interesting. So I said, I don't want to put you on the spot, but could you give me some examples of how they care? And that took her some time. To think about it. It wasn't like just immediately, there was this one moment where it all changed or anything like that. But what she eventually came back with was a couple personal examples of a manager who had paid attention. So the one that really stuck out to me was she had a car wreck and she couldn't come in. And her general manager of that location she was at the time was the one calling around, helping her cover her shift, make sure her shift was covered, and so she didn't have to worry about it.
Oh,
but that's relatively minor, right?
It is, but yeah, if somebody takes something off of your plate, from in an empathetic way,
right?
And maybe in a way that you weren't expecting. This is my responsibility.
Yep.
And somebody's handling it. That just feels good.
It feels good. It was good enough to, when I guess a series of little things like that happened, that she got bought in. She's invested. She loves it. She feels like they care. Mm-hmm. And so it just got me thinking, can a company really care? We have all sorts of, commercials about a company that cares, and employee initiatives about, we care about you as an employee. And can a corporate organization really care? And I think the answer to that really doesn't matter. The question is, do your people perceive that the company cares? And I think they do, when the managers and the leadership do little things like that, where they show some empathy, show some effort, show some investment on things that your employees definitely notice, because Callie noticed. That's my big thought for the day, is that like it maybe isn't that hard. It's just that you have to be constantly paying attention to what are some little things that I can do to demonstrate that I do give a rip as a leader here.
Oh yeah, well, it reminds me of, so many different things. The customer experience.
Yep.
Does the
Yep.
customer perceive that the organization cared? Do the employees perceive that they cared? And I think about it in terms of, do I feel valued? Do I feel appreciated? And do I feel heard?
Yep.
Is this place listening? Do they value me? Do they appreciate me?
Yep.
And it's also interesting when they say that, because I read, I think it was in the Gallup data, that 70% of how you feel about an organization is based upon the person that you report to.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, as the more and more that we're out there in the world, that may be overstated. And maybe there's something deeper going on, because you see people all the time, and we run into them, where their immediate boss is not an effective leader, not a good leader, not a
Yep.
good manager, and yet they love the ownership. They love
Yeah.
the chief, the highest ranking day-to-day person, even though they don't report directly to them.
Yeah.
And they'll be upset with their manager or disengaged with their manager, but then they'll say, but I love this company.
Yeah.
I love the owner. I love what they stand for. I love, love the way they treat people.
Yep.
My current boss, however, they're not getting it done. But and so yeah, that 30%, according to Gallup, has a huge impact. And yeah, if I think that the higher ups value me, appreciate me, are listening, I'll tend to push through a not so effective manager.
So funny that you say that, because the other question that I asked her was, is this a corporate store or a franchise store? And do you think one or the other cares? And she said, well, I started working here because of Skyline, because I'm from Northern Kentucky and I love Skyline. I am still working here. She had nothing bad to say about Skyline, but she said all the stuff that I'm talking about was the franchise company demonstrating care to me. And I got some proof of it, because you try to find the boss and brag on the employee if you have a good one. So I found somebody and I said, are you the general manager? And she said, well, no, actually I'm with corporate, and I'm just here because it's, opening of the store. And I said, well, this young lady here, Callie, and she goes, isn't she wonderful? She knew everything about Callie, like, just right off the bat. So, I think that maybe proves your point, because, this is a new store. Maybe the general manager came from elsewhere and she brought Callie with her, but Callie, I think, is a local college student. So I think that's more the reason she's at this particular store opening it. It's more a matter of that she's seen over time the 30%, not the 70%, that she's seen, the corporate structure give a rip. So I've seen that time and again. There's a hospitality franchise group that's been since sold, but I'm not going to say the name because it's defunct, and I don't want to slander anybody just in case it's an issue. But
don't speak ill of the dead.
You and I have worked in luxury stores that have had employees who are now in the car business who were trained in the hospitality business by this hotel franchise group. And they're phenomenal. In fact, one of the veterans of that organization is at my hotel that I always stay at in Cincinnati. They used to be a part of that group, and he has now he's new to the store, new GM to the store, to the hotel, and he has personally called me and asked if we can meet for coffee. I think just to sort of try to develop relationships and learn what he can about the hotel from people that are staying there. But that is a transfer of knowledge and of the attitude of care going through the organization, because the organization's thinking about it that way. So it's that 30% really does matter. There's a culture trickles downhill, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does. Yeah, I was surprised at the impact of that. And we talk to leaders all the time about the power they have, right? The great power
Yeah.
for good, the power
No.
for destruction. And every level you go up the organizational chart, it's magnified. To me, it's magnified 100-fold.
Yeah.
So if my manager says, "Yeah, you're doing a nice job. You did a good job with that customer.
Yep.
You handled that table wonderfully." That feels pretty good.
Yep.
But if the person that person reports to says it, comes by and says, "Hey, I heard from your manager, or I witnessed it firsthand. You did an awesome job."
Yep.
Boom! Right now, it's
Yep.
100 times more impactful. And
Yep.
so I think they underestimate oftentimes at the higher levels of the organization the power that they can have to reinforce the culture and to make people fall in love with the organization where they're employed.
Well, we talk about it in our workshops, and I think we maybe have mentioned it on a previous episode, but the best organizations, just like the best marriages, they last, they perform well when the positive to negative comments are at a 5-to-1, or in Harvard Business Journal, it was 6-to-1, rounded 6-to-1 ratio of positive comments to negative comments. So the bosses, you just cannot, if it's a true praise, if it's real positive recognition, you cannot recognize enough. You just, there's no way any of us are getting to 5-to-1, 6-to-1 category. So go praise more. You can do it.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
huge 100-fold, 100-fold impact.
Well, I agree wholeheartedly. And you said something earlier that she was struggling to find big specific examples
Yep.
of caring.
Yep.
And so that reminded me of the Disney parks approach, where they don't necessarily need this big dramatic moment.
Yeah.
But they know that if there's a series of, oh, well, that's cool. If there's just a series of those over the course of the experience with the park, uh, then at some point, right, people go, "This place cares. This place is wonderful.
Yep.
This is an experience worth paying for and paying big bucks for." And so they know that yeah, just the tiniest elements, the interaction with the child's interaction with a character. You come back
Yeah.
to your room and the towels folded up to look like Mickey laying on the bed. Just the tiny, where you just, it's not huge, but you go, "Oh, well, that's cool." And over
Absolutely.
time, it builds up to where you do the math in your head and go, when I add it all up, this place cares. This place is wonderful. This place is great.
I think that's spot on. And it's, I didn't really think about this, but it is Thanksgiving week, and this is a great week to go thank your employees. This is a good time to walk around and talk to your people and tell them what it is you appreciate about them. In fact, Thanksgiving's a really good time to do it. Our mentor, Dolores, that was one of her tricks when she was in car sales, was she didn't send Christmas cards. She sent Thanksgiving cards. Everybody sends Christmas cards, but she stood out because she was doing something at Thanksgiving. And so heck of a time to go let your words have maximum impact, do some things that demonstrate you're invested and care about your people. It's really that simple. That's really all this episode is about, is, companies do look like they care because they have leadership that just exerts that little bit of behavior that does that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, great point. Yeah. A company can't care, but the people within it can.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get out there. One of my sayings is, don't wait for the funeral to
That's
tell
right.
somebody how wonderful they are.
Yep.
Yeah. And Thanksgiving gives you that kind of natural, if you're hesitant in any way, it's like,
Yeah.
That's Thanksgiving. I probably ought to tell people that I'm grateful for some of the things that they do and express that to them.
Spot on. Spot on. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Well, yes, happy Thanksgiving. And yes, let's make sure the turkey isn't dry and the cranberry sauce is delightful. Yeah. Speaking of thankful, we're always thankful for our announcer,
Oh.
Mr. Wolf.
I thought you were going to call him a turkey.
Yeah. That would be wrong. Not in the spirit of this episode. All right, gobble till you wobble.
And that's it. Join us next time when you'll hear Mike say, well, I'm sure he'll say something pithy. Don't miss it. Next time, it doesn't take a genius.
That's good enough.